All right, Mr. Ajay S Shriram from DCM joins us for a quick chat at the CII's annual business conference. Thank you so much, Mr. Shriram, for joining us. We just had a great session on the future responsibility and the role of business. We saw a whole lot of panel talking very openly about how families should run business and probably leave their legacy towards their children as well, very responsibly, futurely, and CSR equally being a part of it. What's your key takeaway, sir? How should we co-create the future responsibly, sir?
I think, many examples were given today by the panelists of how their experience tells them how to make a successful business enterprise, which is not only for making money, but is a lot more. As I mentioned in the beginning, the responsibility of companies, more so family companies, is for society. It's for society at large. It's for all stakeholders. So I think this is where imbibing the culture and nature in the children is very important. Secondly, I think the responsibility of family members to ensure that the board of directors, really have a passion and interest and connection with the various CSR or ESG activities is very crucial because ultimately the board has to give direction, then the managing directors, others have to take it up and percolate it down.
Correct, sir.
So I think that's very important of getting the board involved fully, like we've done. On CSR, ESG, the board is fully involved. They know what we are doing and they give ideas and suggestions. Look at this also, this also, this also. That's how I think grows better in managing a company.
Mr. Shriram, the bigger question arises how the younger generations, the today's generation, will take care of the businesses built by their forefathers and fathers respectively. Does it kind of leave a kind of a tension in the head that what if my children are not able to be that efficient and that great in which we and my fathers were? So does that leave a kind of a thought in the head, sir?
No, I think, I'll be honest. If you look at any person who is getting responsibility for a business, competency has to be looked at, whether it's family or non-family. So there must be some method. The NRC committee of all boards, normally they go through this point, even looking at family members, where they are, what is their salary, what is the responsibility, how does it work. That's very important to look at. So being family does not give you the right to manage. You have the right to be a shareholder. So you can be an owner, but not necessarily an owner-manager. So that has to be very clear.
Sir, also it was my last two set of questions. Wealth creators. So companies like you are known as wealth creators, sir, in India and globally. I want to ask you at DCM Shriram, how are you enabling your employees to eventually be a wealth creator for themselves and for their families as well? Is there any roadmap that you are planning eventually, sir?
We already have. We have enough schemes, we have enough occasions to interact with our employees at all levels to make them a part of the family.
Okay.
When we had, for instance, when 25 years of this company happened, we got restructured in 1990. We have an award for everybody. When we have a long service award today, where we give a silver salver for anyone who's over 10 years. In my experience of working at DCM for almost 40 years plus, and our company started in 1889, I've had the privilege of giving a 50-year award to two employees, which was a gold coin. So we actually value the input from our people, and that's how we get their commitment, their attachment, and their sense of well-being for the business first and foremost, and trust in the family.
Absolutely.
So I think that's very important.
Absolutely. That's a great initiative. So last question, in fact, the Prime Minister in our interview recently to India Today Group mentioned that there has to be a respect for wealth creators as well. What's your remark? Do you think wealth creators should be given that respect so that eventually the society rises?
I think it's essential. Ultimately, you look at it this way. How are jobs created? Someone has to put in the money. Someone has to take a risk, provide someone with a job, and work on growing it so that more jobs are provided. Each business has its own requirement of people. Jobs creation is important, tax inflow to government is important, society development is important. CSR now, government scheme of 2% is good. How does that money go? So that's how I was reading recently. In the last 8-10 years, I think maybe 2 lakh crores have gone into CSR. Where would it come if there's no wealth? So I think it's a short-sighted approach to say wealth should not be created. It should be created, must be used judiciously. And if the share market is going up, for instance, there are millions of people who've invested in the share market. They're getting an income and getting their wealth going up also. So it's not only the manager of the company; it's a lot more. So I think it has to be looked at a wider picture and not in narrow vision, as some people are looking at it. I think that's wrong.
All right, Mr. Shriram, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure is always to speak to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.